And today's topic that we're going to be diving into is the process of self-transcendence, this high and low journey that we all go on when we are overcoming ourselves and transcending our paradigms and making the shift from the old version of ourselves to the new version of ourselves. And how do we deal with that emotional roller coaster? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to pull up a couple of graphics. I'm going to present some solutions to some of these challenges, and then I'm going to open it up for a discussion because I'd love to hear everybody else's perspective on this as well. We're all experiencing it. We all go through it. Anybody that's on a self-development or professional development journey is going to run into these challenges. Therefore, I'm excited to hear all of your points of view on this as well. So that being said, let's start with contextualizing this a little bit and highlighting this wonderful experience that we all have called the transition curve. Okay, and this is the roller coaster ride of personal development, and we all experience it in one way or another. So let's highlight some of the key points on this system, or on this process rather, which is we pick up a great book, we connect with somebody that we know, love, and trust. Something occurs in our lives, and we developed what's called uninformed optimism. Right? We get all excited about something, right? You get your dream, you get your passion, you get your purses, you start a new business, whatever it is, you get super excited about something, but it's uninformed optimism, right? It's just an aspiration at this point. And you go, okay, I'm going to go on this journey. Let's do this thing. And you start transitioning up this curve, and eventually, whether it's the first day, the first month, or the first year, likely it's probably the first month or first couple of weeks, you're going to run into obstacles. It might even be the first few hours. And that is going to lead to this sense of informed pessimism. Informed pessimism. And we've all been here too, right? We've all got bumped into some obstacle, some challenge, some thing where we realize, wait a minute, this is not going to be as easy as I thought. This is not going to be as much fun as it seemed like it was going to be in the beginning of my journey. And we start to collect more and more information about all the things going wrong. And we start spiraling and spiraling down this hole. And then we get to this point, and usually I find this happens every 28 days, where we hit this crisis of meaning. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so difficult. This is so hard. I can't believe it. I must have picked the wrong thing. This is not the right business for me. This is not the right challenge. This is not the right thing. It doesn't feel right anymore. I got to let it go and pick something new. There's this other new shiny object over here that just feels so much better. How many of us have experienced that before? Probably everybody. Right? So the point is we get to this crisis of meaning, and if we stay there for too long, what happens? Wah, wah, wah. Crash and burn. Crash and burn. Right? And we all have done this. Like I know I have a lot of times. So what's the solution? How do we get out of this cycle of starting new things, getting all excited about it, getting to this informed pessimistic state, realizing this is not going to be as easy as I thought, coming down this crisis of meaning, How do we avoid the crash and burn? Got to make this pivot over here to informed optimism. Informed optimism. So that's easier said than done, Mark. How do you get to and back to informed optimism? So you've transitioned through informed pessimism back to informed optimism. Well, we've created a little cycle for you. Something to consider. Perhaps there's a solution. Perhaps there's an answer. And that is this transition optimization system that we put together here. So this transition optimization system starts with realizing before you even start the process that you're going to anticipate the challenges that are going to come. You're going to face challenges. That's just part of the process. You know, if going to the gym was easy and it didn't hurt and it didn't cause you to stretch and grow, you wouldn't grow. So the whole point of it is you're growing in here in your mind. So anticipate the challenge, right? And even come up with some solutions if possible. And the first solution is recognize it's going to be challenging. That's just part of the process. Second step in that is to pursue it, whatever it is you want. Pursue that vision with massive action. I like to call it a white hot burning desire, but just go for it and just put your all into it. Run up that hill, get excited. Maybe it's a marathon, whatever, but the point is get passionate about it and go for it. And then you're going to hit the crisis of meaning. It's going to happen. It's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. So when it happens, what do? Well, you transition from the first aspect of the cycle into the second one, and you respond with a positive mental attitude. You don't let the negative self-talk kick off. You respond to that challenge, that adversity with gratitude and appreciation. I am doing the thing that I said I was going to do, and I'm excited about this opportunity to learn something new. Right? And what do you do from that learning state, from that positive mental attitude? You transition into collecting information about the challenge that you're facing. And this is where masterminding is really, really useful, because you can connect with other people who may have already experienced that same challenge, describe your scenario, and overcome it, develop solutions together. Because that's the next stage, is you develop a solution. Whatever the solution is, you develop one. And then you do the work, you implement the solution, you test the solution, and then you optimize it. You go with an intent knowing that it may not actually be the solution. But what it does is it brings you back to informed optimism. Because now you're trying something new. Now you're stretching. Now you're growing. And from that, you may succeed again, or you may fail. But either which way, the thing that's most important is that you've transitioned out of the crash and burn. You're no longer going to crash and burn. You're going from crisis of meaning, and you're making this pivot back to informed optimism. Is it going to be perfect? Likely not. Likely it's just going to set up for your next informed pessimistic point on the cycle. And then as you start to spiral down, next time you're going to be more efficient at this transition cycle, because you're going to have a positive mental attitude. You're going to realize it's a growth-based opportunity. This is an opportunity for me to learn and grow. And subsequently, you're going to collect information and develop a new solution based on the new information that you have. right? So I just wanted to highlight this today for everybody in the group, that this self-transcendent journey is going to come with highs and lows. This is guaranteed. It's a guaranteed part of the process, right? But when we come at it with a positive mental attitude that we're either winning or learning, you can't lose.